Coming up on today's pod, Sebi Sabbaticals, Sebastian Canelli returns, and we discuss famous beefs throughout history. Hit the music. Here we go. Let's get these questions from the DMs. Yep. All right, well, that's what I heard. So what do you want me to tell you? I'm so happy you're back.
Me too. I love doing this show.
You're the best.
You are. I'm so happy to always see you.
Good. Me too.
Yeah.
Now, how's your mother?
How's my mother?
We have to do our mother check-ins as both of our mothers are embattled.
Of course. Well, if you didn't watch the live stream, you should have.
And you should have. Yeah.
You should have, because me and Frex got fucking lit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Wait, let's briefly touch on that. Do you know how much shame I felt the next day? I go, am I in trouble for being so drunk on the telethon?
No,
who cares? It was fun.
Love us.
It was fun.
Yeah. What do you mean? We didn't say anything.
Yeah.
You know that you guys left, and then I sat with that guy for like a half hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, the guy after at the bar.
No, my friend that
we went out after.
Kent.
Good Lord. Yeah, that was, talk about an awkward situation.
That guy?
Yeah. Oh my God. He was hovering over us.
Wait,
while
why
we were
was
watching.
that awkward? I wasn't even paying attention. That's how lit I was.
You were in your own world.
Yeah, I started crying.
Well, that was when Mike left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I missed that.
Mike, you left, and literally as soon as you turned the corner, tears were dripping.
Why? Wait, why?
Because I missed you.
Oh,
no, because I was talking about my break and moving out, and it was a very emotional time.
It's a lot. Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, I understand. Sometimes you just need to let it out.
And mostly because I had 5 White Claws.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then we did a couple vodka sodas.
At the bar, yeah. A lot of booze consumed.
You left, and then was like, maybe another vodka soda.
No, I closed out the check. I paid the check, and then I go, you can go get us another round.
Yeah. So yeah, I ended up sitting with that guy for a while, and it was awkward when he was just hovering above us.
Yeah, I thought that was very weird because he knew you. Yeah, he was talking to you, and then the rest, Frex and I were just sitting there trying to watch the game, and he's talking to us about things that are happening in the restaurant. I was like, I don't care, man.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I didn't know that happened at all.
Oh, really?
I didn't know there was a man hovering above us.
Right above you.
No clue.
Trying to connect with you, and you weren't even looking at him.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I'm going to do well as a single person. I had no idea.
Wow. Yeah. Are you good at picking up if someone's flirting with you?
No.
Bad.
No, I don't know until we're on the plane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you ever flirted with someone?
Never in my life.
I can't imagine you.
That's not true. I'm being I'm putting myself down, but the truth is I have a look and I have a vibe when I'm available.
Oh.
You guys have just never seen it.
I mean, that makes sense.
At the bar.
I have an energy.
You do?
That I can turn on and off, yes.
I'll tell you this, my energy is very, very similar to what it is here.
Yeah.
Not
but
much
it seems to be working.
Yeah, it's fine. My mother's doing okay. She's doing good. My mom had a brain aneurysm burst. She almost died. She didn't die now. And now she's home and she's annoying.
So annoying.
So annoying. Oh, the blessings of having an annoying mother.
I know. It's because of our mothers have had health problems. It's I'm so glad that they're alive to annoy us.
Mm-hmm.
But the other day I just felt this magnetic energy of I have to get away.
Oh, yeah.
I have to get away.
Before
I commit nursing home elder abuse. I'm going to do something bad.
I know. And that won't look good.
Mm-mm.
To yell at your mother right after a brain aneurysm?
Imagine that it bursts again.
It's a tough
Double burst.
Yeah, that would be a tough look. No. But she's been pushing my limits, and she knows. I feel so bad for my father because I have to go help do some stuff with my dad sometimes. And my mother, she was always a bossy woman. Mm-hmm. But now she's telling my dad to do stuff as he's doing other things. Mm-hmm. And my father looks at me and he goes, she never ends. She never ends. Not it never ends.
That's such a funny way to put it. She is infinity.
Yeah.
She never ends.
She never ends.
Your mother is infinity.
It kills me. I go, I know, Dad, I'm sorry. And then, so I asked my dad, I go, oh, Dad, maybe you and I go to the Brooklyn Museum together. There's a Beatles exhibit. We could go see it. And he goes, why would I want to do that? I got the books. I go, never fucking mind. Stay at home with her. You know?
Stay at home. Can't help people.
So annoying.
I have the books.
Yeah, I was trying to connect with you.
Yeah.
Like, and then he called. Then my mom goes on the group text. No, he'll go. I go, I don't want to go now.
Right. It's too late.
It's too late. It's so hard. Connecting is hard. I mean, I know that you and your father have a hard time connecting.
Oh, speaking of my father, I have to do quick retractions from last week's episode.
Okay, what happened?
So I said on last week's episode that he kept inviting me to Gaza protests, but was not offering to help me with my chaotic time and my move.
Yeah.
He, in fact, did offer to help between the time of taping and release.
Oh.
And he called me. He did listen to the episode. He called me and I mentioned that he had assaulted a traffic cop. And the charges were filed. And he wanted me to know that that was, quote, actually a pretty funny story.
Emma, we got to pick you up early from school. Your dad beat a traffic cop in a funny way.
In a very, very funny way.
It was hilarious. What, did he pick up a dildo and hit him in the face? What type of funny way could he have?
I don't know. And then he didn't tell me the story. I know I've heard it at some point, but I don't know. I guess that's for another day. Yeah, my dad beefs with a lot of people. That brings us to our topic. You like how seamless that was?
I actually was taken by how good a host you are.
I saw you, yeah. So today, guys, we're talking, we're doing a classic topic episode, just me and Sebi Sabbaticals kicking it. Today's topic is famous beefs throughout history. Of course, I'm thinking about this. We're all thinking about this because the Drake and Kendrick feud rages on. Although it feels a little over now. Someone's been shot. I mean,
yeah,
someone got shot.
His security guard outside Drake's house.
Yeah,
no shit.
Yeah.
I mean, never were there three people less qualified to weigh in on who won the rap beef than the three of us, but we'll give it a shot.
Yeah. It is annoying how many non-rap fans are posting about this beef. That annoys the shit out of me. Because I have listened to all the Drake. You're a lover girl.
I'm a lover girl for Drake, yeah. But I don't think he won.
No.
I have a complicated relationship with Drake because I've always been such a huge fan. But the last few years, I think he's really gone down an alcoholism road or some type of pill road.
Yeah.
He's always carrying around the goblet with the special spritzer. The music hasn't been very good. No. The outfits are getting worse. I don't know.
Did you ever think of this?
Yeah.
Maybe Drake isn't changing. Maybe you're changing.
That's so fucking funny that you said that to me because I remember when Certified Lover Boy came out, I was like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't love it like I've loved past albums. And then I actually said, you know what? Instead of asking Drake to meet me where I am in my life, maybe I should try to meet him where he is.
Yeah. And that's trying to impress 18-year-old girls.
And that's trying to fuck 15-year-old girls. Yeah.
See, I was polite and you were real. I was trying to
I always kind of defended him on that because the only one I had heard about was the Millie Bobby Brown thing.
Yeah.
And then because she had been like, oh, Drake texted me the other day and he always texts me like, he's so funny, whatever. And then she kind of came out and was like, no, it's like a mentor kind of relationship because he was on TV young. I'm on TV young. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of like, okay, I could believe that. But now I guess when everybody says the same thing about you, I'll tend to say, okay, maybe he is up to no good over there.
Probably, I would say, probably not good.
Yeah. I was on a podcast the other day and they were saying, even if the girls are like 18 or 19, that's still not good.
What podcast?
I was on Racine's podcast.
Nice.
And the co-host was saying, like, even if he's not technically, legally a quote unquote pedophile, even if the girls he's with are 18 or 19, that's still
bad.
It's still not good.
I mean, I have a limit for age. I think that's good.
What is it?
If they have a birthday month, I can't go out with them.
Got it.
That's a good rule. That's a good rule, Seb.
If they celebrate a birthday month, that's too young for me.
Right.
I would say 26, 27.
Yeah.
I just need...
That's young, though, to me.
It is young.
I think it's just... I think everyone should date people their own age.
I agree also.
Within 5 years. How about this? They could have been a freshman when you were a senior. And that's probably the biggest age gap that's appropriate. Otherwise, you're a senior and they're in middle school.
Wow.
Now, how does that feel?
Bad.
If a senior dates a 7th grader, are you okay with that?
Never.
Never.
This is a great rule. You know what I like about this rule?
High school at the same time, I think, is appropriate.
People will end up settling. And I think when people settle, they're happier. I think when someone...
explain. I think I like it, but I need to hear more.
Once, like, if one person goes, oh, I'm going to settle for this other person, one person is going to feel like, wow, look at what I got. And the other person's going to be like, you know how it feels better to give than receive? Mm-hmm. Like to do charity? So to date down makes you feel good about yourself.
Wait, but what does that have to do with age? Because
then they'll have less options. So if you have to date within the 4 years,
okay,
you can't open it up more. So then now all of a sudden you have less options.
Less options.
And so then you have to settle.
But that's good.
It is good.
It's every single psychologist, everything you ever hear is that like an abundance of choice will fry your brain.
Mm-hmm.
It's, what is it, decision paralysis or something when you're standing in the shampoo aisle at CVS and there's bazillions of different choices and you just stand there and you go, yeah, I don't know, man. And it causes, and that's obviously a dumb example, but when choosing a partner, when choosing a career, you know, many different things, it's like, if you could be anything, how could you possibly choose? I think kids now are experiencing that with like, actually, let me not say that.
Well, I think that's a great example because Drake probably had all the choices in the world, right?
Right.
He could choose any woman. And that's what choice paralysis got him. Right. Texting Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I do think that that's weird. And not weird. I think it's terrible behavior. Excuse me. I don't want to say the word weird. Weird is when someone wears a tail. You know, like someone walks around with a little furry tail. Okay, we need to get rid of the word weird when it comes to pedophiles. Yeah. We need to say it's a terrible behavior.
Yeah, bad.
Yeah,
bad.
So I like the songs.
Obviously, Not Like Us is a banger. I didn't realize how much of a banger it was until like 2 days ago when I started seeing it just all over TikTok.
So good.
And but I really like Push Ups. I think that the thing is Kendrick obviously won.
Yeah.
The battle part, because the things he was saying to Drake were a lot more mean. He was saying, "You're not comfortable. You're not black, and you gay." Yeah. And then Drake was saying to him, "You're short."
The worst thing was,
I mean, no, that's a pretty simple breakdown of it.
And that hurts men.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, exactly. Wait, which part?
The short part.
Okay, but you think it hurts as much as you don't know who you are. You pretend to be someone you're not. You're confused sexually. You have no identity. You have no culture. No region accepts you. You're not accepted in Atlanta. You're not accepted in the Bay. You're not accepted in Philly. Your parents don't like you. Your son is a hoe. Your baby mother, you don't even know. I mean,
that's equal.
So that's like what Kendrick said to Drake, and then Drake said, "You're short." And you think those are equal?
And that's how important height is for men.
And that's why 6 feet or above, please.
6 feet or above. Yes. How tall is Drake?
I don't know. But Kendrick is what, 5?
5'5".
Okay. That's not, I mean.
That is pretty short.
That's short. How tall are you? Are you willing to say?
I'm 5'9", but I have scoliosis, so we'll never know my full potential.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're like a kid with ADHD.
Yeah, we'll never know what it could have been. So yeah, I mean, I almost just don't even care who won the beef. I mean, Kendrick won, but I still like the Drake song better. Push Ups.
It's hard to listen to the Kendrick song in public. I was like driving somewhere and I was like,
which one? They Not Like Us. That one?
No, the one where he goes and they call it A minor.
Yeah, that's.
Oh yeah.
They Not Like Us. They not. Go ahead, dot fuck them up. That one.
You know what? You should be speaking on this. You are a rapper.
Yeah. Yes.
Have you ever had a rap beef? Have you ever wanted one? Was there any?
No, I mean, the most beef I've had was with the other Frex.
Yeah. And
that was just me reaching out and her not responding.
Yeah, that wasn't really beef.
So it's not beef. I'm famously afraid to beef.
Yeah.
Because I have so much internalized stuff where if someone says something mean to me, I'm like, I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, you're right.
You beef with yourself.
Yeah. That's the most famous beef in history.
The beef with yourself.
Me versus me.
Me versus me. And you always lose.
You have you versus you, right?
Always.
Always.
It's always me versus me and the beef. And the beef always wins.
Well, let's talk about some other famous beefs.
Yeah, what are we talking?
OJ versus Nicole Brown Simpson.
Oof.
Just kidding. That's not really what we're going to talk about. Steve Irwin versus the Gator.
My mom, when he died, she calls me up and she goes, "You heard?" I go, "What?" She goes, "OJ died." OJ died. I go, "Yeah, Mom, I heard." She goes, "Well, he wasn't a good man." That was the whole call. And then she hung up.
Huh? She got a point.
Yeah.
He wasn't a good man.
So yeah, she's starting to. Everything she's saying is taking, not because of the aneurysm. I think just because of age. Like stories are longer.
Yes, and they repeat. So it's like the same 4 stories for the rest of our lives we're going to hear.
And you know, I tell the same story all the time, but every time I do it a little better.
Yeah, every time I learn, and again, it's like I go to a lot of open mics.
Yeah.
So I kill the show.
For combos.
That's how stories are. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's friend hanging out. You you hang out with the low tier friends first. You work out a couple stories, and then you hang out with the friends you want to be friends with, and then you tell those stories. But parents, for some reason, their stories just get worse every telling.
Yeah, it's like the same thing with height. You go up and up and up, and then you hit a peak, and then you go down and down and down. I think it's like that for everything.
Your father didn't even tell you the funny story. That's how bad he was at the story.
He goes, "Just so you know, though, when I hit that lady, it was funny."
Wait, it was a lady? It was a lady?
I actually don't remember.
Oh my God. Your dad hit a female traffic cop. Incredible.
I actually don't know. I got to get the story.
I
think it wasn't a traffic. It was a meter maid, I think. So probably a lady.
Tough.
Well, they're a little tough. They're a little unreasonable.
I can't. I'll leave a Dunkin' Donuts if I see 8 of them sitting at a table. They're always sitting at a table, a bunch of them.
Yeah. They got to get caffeinated so they can go fuck people's day up.
I once called one a loser.
To their face?
Sort of.
Good.
That made me feel like an even worse loser.
Steve Irwin versus the crocodile. He ended up actually being killed by a stingray. His lifelong battle against crocodiles. He ended up being killed by a fucking stingray. You believe that?
Yeah, isn't it ironic?
Don't you think? His cameraman said, quote, "If Steve needed help, he would ask for it, even if he is eaten by a shark or a croc. The main thing he wants is for it to be filmed."
What a quote.
If he died, he would be sad if no one got it on tape. End quote. Tragically, Steve's wish came true when he was killed by a stingray in a freak accident in Australia's Great Barrier Reef almost 18 years ago. Steve had, quote, Steve had this rule that no matter who was injured, we had to keep filming. Now I'm rooting for the stingray.
Wow.
Why am I rooting for the stingray? Okay.
Sounds like someone went to film school.
Yeah. So the stingray attack, the CPR, and the medical efforts were all captured on film. Now, Steve had initially set out to look for tiger sharks for his show Ocean's Deadliest. However, he saw a 220-pound ray. Is that right? A stingray is 220 pounds?
They can be big. I don't know. Yeah.
Wow.
That's big. I always thought they were small.
I think they range. I think there's like sharks that are tiny, but there's also great whites.
I was standing next to a man the other day that was really small, and I thought, how are we the same species?
Right. Yeah.
How are we both stingrays?
Yeah.
You and Kendrick.
Yeah.
I mean, if you stand side by side, very different sized people.
Because you know what we're thinking of? We're thinking of the ones that you pet at the aquarium.
Yes.
That don't kill people.
Not the one that killed Steve Irwin.
And he wasn't petting one, and it didn't catch his hand and then slide up into his heart.
All right, so he sees a 220-pound stingray lying on the ocean floor, and he thinks to himself that it would be perfect for his daughter Bindi's series, Bindi the Jungle Girl. So he goes out to get a little content with the stingray.
Of course.
Always be posting.
Mm-hmm.
Expecting the usually calm creature to swim away as he approached, he and the cameraman, Justin Lyons, waded chest deep in the water.
Justin Lyons?
Yeah, imagine.
He probably heard his name. He goes, someone else is interviewing for the job. Justin Lyons. He's got it.
He's got it.
His name is an animal. I can't do accents. Can you do?
His name is an animal.
Whoa.
Sidebar real quick. I'm looking at some big stingrays on the internet.
Okay.
Like size of boats.
This is the first time Mike has ever like looked up something as we said it.
It's not true.
I'm blown away. Wait,
Yeah,
let
me
me see.
too.
How do we see him? We guess we can't.
You kinda
Text
can't,
me, I
but-
We're all doing our jobs today.
I know, it's amazing.
This is amazing. I'm not screaming. You're flawlessly transitioning. You're looking stuff up.
Wow. This is progress. This is our 50th episode.
It goes to
Whoa.
show you what the
Yeah.
show really could be like.
This could be it. If everybody just came and did their best.
You know what I think it was? I think the last time we met up, we just got hammered and screamed.
Yeah, we have to take it down now. This is we're complex people. We have highs and lows.
Yeah. Steve Lyon.
So we were with Justin Lyons
Justin
and
Lyons.
Stephen Irwin
Yeah.
out in the reef. So when the crocodile hunter Steve passed over the top of the stingray, it raised its razor sharp tail, stabbed him hundreds of strikes in a few seconds.
Wow.
Yikes.
I didn't know this story. As the cameras rolled, Steve was quickly pulled back onto their inflatable boat and sped back towards their main vessel called Croc 1.
Wow.
You almost go, he had it coming in a way. I mean, Croc 1, what's he out there doing with all these animals?
I mean, he did have it coming.
In a way, he had it coming.
It's like the grizzly man that died of the
I
grizzly
know.
bear.
Yep.
Like, here's the thing, if you're going to do content about animals, you might die from one.
It's tough. In the weeks following Irwin's death, so this is why it's a beef, right?
Oh, okay.
So, in the weeks following Irwin's death, at least 10 stingrays were found dead and mutilated on the beaches, their tails cut off, prompting speculation about whether they had been killed by fans of Irwin as an act of revenge.
I think it was the sharks.
Wait, what do you mean?
I think the sharks went out and said, how fucking dare you do what we're supposed to do?
Yeah, like that was our kill.
That
That was
was
our
our-
lunch.
Yeah. That was all. Yeah. Fucking doing it.
Okay, so now it's a multifaceted beef.
Oh my God. The sharks were pissed they didn't get to kill.
Yeah. So they fuck up the stingrays and leave their bodies all rat-tattled on the beach. Now,
Oh my God. A stingray. Mike just texted me.
oh
a
my
pic.
God.
Humongous.
Okay, what'd you Google? Let's tell the audience what's it Google.
I just Googled giant stingray.
Google giant stingray. Damn.
They can get up to
Wow.
16 and a half feet long.
Damn.
I once got a pancake that size in Jersey.
I know.
Did you get a shirt for eating it?
Yeah.
All right.
I had 90 minutes, couldn't throw up.
Wow. Okay, so that is a big stingray.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that was bigger.
Now imagine cutting the tail off of one of those and leaving it on the beach. Damn.
You know what? Why it's bigger? Because it's not thick. Because
It's a
like
thin little stingray.
Right.
220 pounds flat. It's flat. 220.
Right. And do they have a hard shell?
That I don't know.
That-
I can look.
I don't even
know.
know if I care. I'm so uninterested.
In this, in stingrays.
Yeah.
I went to an
marine
aquarium.
life.
I went to an aquarium. It's really boring.
Yeah, boring. as
The
fuck.
best one
is the best thing about it is a snack bar. Crinkle cut fries.
Right.
Or you go to the aquarium and you get those like things
Point
that are like
Pleasant.
jerking off things.
Yeah.
Oh wow wow wow
Yeah,
wow
yeah.
wow
It
wow.
has like a orca and then
Yeah, it makes that weird funny noise.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Isn't it
that's-
pretty insane though that people go swimming in the ocean with that type of stuff out there?
Well, this is the Great Barrier Reefs. I'm not sure Jones Beach holds the same spectacle.
Maybe not.
Holds the same jewels of the sea.
But I did go to Cape Cod, and it was shark watch the whole time I was there.
Mm.
And there was an app, and it would tell you what shark was close by, and they told you not to go in the water.
Wow.
But I dipped my toes because I believed in me.
Yeah, I'll dip a toe.
I dip a toe.
Dip a toe.
I'm gonna see the ocean, not dip a toe.
I always dip a toe. And I go, ooh, it's cold.
Has the ocean ever been warm? That's
I go,
my
"Ooh,
question.
it's so cold.
It is always cold.
Yeah, when you go to the tropics, it is. Like if you go down to Barbados, that's bath water. Puerto Rico, bath water.
Oh, I got to do an all inclusive.
You got to. I was supposed to go on a girls' trip last week to St. John,
St. John the Baptist.
the island,
The islands. Oh, St. John's.
Virgin Islands.
Oh, nice.
Like you fly to St. Thomas, then you take a. Well, it's not nice because I didn't get to go.
Oh,
I
too
had to
bad.
cancel. It was too bad.
That's close to Epstein.
Was it?
I believe so.
Oh, you know I would have made the girls. I mean, it's my friend. My friend Harley, shout out to her, is getting married there next year. So the girls had to do a recon trip to like check out the spots.
Oof.
So we were all four of us were gonna go.
Yeah.
I had to bail, unfortunately, but I would have been like, let's get a boat out to Epstein's Island. She's like, we're supposed to be scouting the Hilton for the wedding. And I'm like, I hear you, but Little St. John is calling.
To do a girls trip to
Little St. John.
So funny. Oh my God, look at the temple.
So cute. Okay. Michael Hornby, a friend of Irwin and an executive director of Who Cares?
He only knows people with animal last names.
Hornby. He said, we want to make it very clear that we will not accept and not stand for anyone who's taken any form of retribution against the Stingrays. That is the last thing Steve would want. In an interview with Larry King, Irwin's daughter, Bindi, stated that she loves Stingrays and she does not feel bitterness towards them. And she forgives the Stingrays.
What?
Is she dead?
She better fucking be.
Is she dead?
No,
Look her
she's
up.
alive.
Really?
She's like an influencer now. Oh, not an influencer, but she's prominent.
We gotta get her on the pod.
We could try.
She forgives. I'll tell you this.
She forgives Stingrays.
If an animal ever kills anyone in my family,
I don't forgive them.
Never.
I don't forgive them. All I do for the rest of my time on Earth is taxidermy their bodies.
Yes, and make
and
them
put
look
them
ugly.
in my apartment. Yeah.
Give them a double chin.
Yeah. Give them a busted ass eye.
Yeah.
Taxidermy that ass and keep them stacked up in my apartment.
Make them insecure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I can't believe she forgave.
She forgave the Stingrays.
Did I see? Here's the thing. So he talks about how he always wanted the footage, but I've never seen the footage of this.
I didn't write that part down, but I read like a thing about the tapes were given to the police, and they watched them, and then they destroyed, quote unquote, they didn't, but they destroyed all the copies and then gave one to his wife, who couldn't bring herself to watch it, obviously, and destroyed it and begged for it never to be released.
That's a what's in the box situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Shout out 7 Deadly Sins.
So they asked for it never to be released.
That makes sense.
Well, I want to see it the same way I want to see the Grizzly Man footage.
I know. Well, you could hear the footage.
I know, I saw, but I want to see.
Me too.
I want to see what that looks like.
Probably on the dark web.
I don't know how to get there.
Neither do I. And you know what?
You don't? Most guys do.
I'm not a what do I
Pornhub.com is fine enough for you.
I'm good.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, we're good with Pornhub. We don't need it.
I don't want to know how to get on there.
Like, is it a www or do you go darkweb.com or like, what is it?
I have
Mike, what is the dark web?
I don't know. I don't know how to. I mean, I know what it is, but I don't know how to get there. I imagine there's a portal.
Could you Google it?
Can you type in where's the dark web?
Yeah. It's like Narnia.
Yeah. Go incognito mode. That will protect us.
It's just a weird thing to have on my browser history.
Okay, but it's for the good of the show.
It's for the good of the show. And we almost can monetize.
Yeah. We're like 40 subs away.
Please. I hope you can monetize enough for Bond for me. What is the dark web?
No, people want to know all the time. Because I think you could get like, you could buy like a cheetah on the dark web. You could buy drugs on the dark web. You could buy like kids or people on the dark web. You could buy.
And then probably like video, like murder videos and stuff like that.
That's what, I mean, I don't even want to bring it to this podcast, but I've heard that.
So you need a special browser, according to this. You need a special browser.
Okay, do they have it available for Chrome?
It would be separate from Chrome. Yeah.
Wow.
Is it an attachment like Honey?
So you have to go through
it is like Chrome, I think, but it's like I don't know. I have no. I even thinking about this stuff gives me like the heebie-jeebies.
Me too.
Me too. Because people say like that there's like live streams of people being hurt on the dark web.
People being the movie Hostel.
Wait, explain that plot to me. I didn't see it.
And Taken.
Taken.
Right.
Yes. Well, hostel is they go to a hostel and they take the people from the hostel and then they're like live streaming killing them. Or people pay on the dark web to go there to murder people. Oh, God.
I can't believe I walk around like believing the best in people. And then I hear about the dark web and what goes on.
I know.
Disgusting.
I mean, I can't. This is why I can't avoid chicken cutlet sandwiches. How am I supposed to say no to a chicken cutlet sandwich when I know people are murdering people and watching it?
And why should we have to say no to a chicken cutlet sandwich when people are doing real harm out there?
Yeah.
It's funny. Frex has these thoughts. She's like, did I get drunk and upset anybody at the live stream?
And people are like live streaming torture. And I'm like, I had 5 White Claws. I might have been a little like too much, like too chatty or like not like professional enough. And it's like, I'm sorry, I'm sawing someone's toes off one by one.
No.
And I'm like, no, but was I annoying?
Yeah, I think I complimented you too many times.
Yes, I said I liked your set too many times.
Yeah.
God.
No, I am like dead annoying when I get drunk though.
Not to me.
Sure. I'm pretty sure though.
Not to me at all.
Okay, thanks. That's nice.
Yeah, I didn't.
It's good to know.
You don't bother me.
Okay, that's good to know.
Probably wouldn't. If you bothered me, I probably wouldn't want to be here.
That's true.
Yeah, definitely. If you bothered me, I wouldn't be here. I like you.
Okay, I'm glad we got this out of the way.
Wow, what a nice podcast moment. Clip it.
If you bothered me, I wouldn't be here. I like you. And I'm like, good, I like you too.
Yeah.
All right, let's take
Viral.
a break. When we come back, guess what we're doing? Joan Crawford versus Bette Davis. This one is good.
Oh,
Wow.
This one is really good. I was actually having the time of my life reading about this one. All right, see you after the break. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. What are you gonna do?
Pretty cool.
Welcome back from break. I would say the greatest beef in Hollywood history has got to be Joan Crawford versus Bette Davis. Are you familiar with the girls?
The names, a refresher wouldn't hurt.
Okay. So 2 like famous Hollywood actresses alive around the same time, started popping in the 30s.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking like old time,
Some
like
like
old
it
time,
hot.
like studio system
Black
girls,
and
like
white.
MGM, MGM girls, like Warner Brother girls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's like Bette Davis, I think, is famous for her eyes. There's a song called Bette Davis Eyes. Joan Crawford is famous for, I think, throwing that ass and pussy in everyone's face.
Wow. Well, I hate to pick a favorite,
Yeah.
but one's got my hands
Yeah.
tied. My eyes are good.
I'm pretty sure she threw that ass and pussy in everyone's face. Actually, this is a great way to start us off. Another flawless transition, because a famous quote that Bette Davis said about Joan Crawford was, quote, Crawford slept with every male star at MGM except Lassie. End quote.
that's a good burn.
Yeah.
All right, this is kind of long, but I found it like really fun, so we're gonna do it.
Okay.
1933. Let me take you back. Let's just even think about what the fuck was going on. So 1933, we're done with the First World War. We're shit's popping, shit's starting to percolate in Europe, but we're not in the Second World War.
Is it the Depression?
Yes.
It's,
Yeah.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah. Look at me.
33, it's the beginning of the Depression, yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So
Interesting that it was the Great Depression and they still found time to have this feud.
I mean, that is like, I'm sure you've seen the videos of people at the 2 worlds we live in, where in the Hunger Games, where they show the like Zendaya at the Met Gala and then the children.
Yeah. In Gaza.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah,
I didn't
it's-
see the videos, but I can imagine it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we live
I
in
guess
the
you're right. Yeah.
same fucking reality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stock market crashed in 29. So this was the height of the Great Depression.
Okay. So 1933, right? So the girls are young. I don't know exactly how old, but they started them young, like 18, 19, 20, 21, like that age. All right.
Yeah.
Bette Davis has her first starring role in a big film. This is the first time she was going to have her name above the title. And that used to be like the big thing, name above the title, right? And the film was called Ex-Lady. Okay. So this is a big deal for Bette Davis. Now, Joan Crawford goes ahead and announces her divorce on the same day that the movie was released, which overshadowed Betty's big moment. So in the New York Times, Crawford's divorce gets several pages, huge cover story. And Betty's movie review was just a small paragraph. And the movie ended up not doing well. It got dropped from theaters and the beef was born.
Wow.
Okay.
That is strategic.
Then Bette Davis shot Joan Crawford's security guard outside of her house. No, I'm sorry.
Wait a minute.
Okay, so
History repeating itself.
okay, so 2 years later, 1935, Bette Davis is in a movie. She falls in love with her co-star, Franchot Tone. How do you say that name? Franchot. Franchot.
You just show me. You turn a
French-
paper that's pretty far away from me, that's filled with text. So how do you say that name? Wait, can you show the camera what you just turned to me? And you go, how do you say that name? Do you see how much text there is on that page? And you go, how do you say that name?
My bad. Okay, let's just go with Francho. I'm going to call him Franchot Tone.
Oh.
Okay, so Bette Davis says, I fell in love with him professionally and privately. Everything about him reflected his elegance, from his name to his manners. Now, during the filming of that same film, Joan Crawford comes in and announces that she is engaged to this man, Tone, Franchot Tone. Bette Davis says, quote, they would meet for lunch every day. He would return to the set, his face covered in lipstick. He was honored this great star was in love with him. I was jealous, of course, end quote. Now, Crawford says, so Crawford's going to marry this guy. And she says about Bette Davis, she goes, yeah, he thought Bette Davis was a good actress, but he never thought of her as a woman.
Oh, wow. Yikes.
So Bette Davis is basically like, she took him from me. She stole my man. She did it on purpose. She's ruthless. She's always been jealous of me.
Yeah.
Now.
Covered in lipstick.
Right?
That's a real 1930s thing.
I mean, imagine.
Lipstick on the collar.
Yeah.
Like, does that really happen anymore?
You seem like a lipstick on the collar type of guy, Mike.
What does that mean? That I'm
know,
willing to have affairs?
Yeah. No, well, first of all, that you're wearing a white collar.
That's true. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. I'm like an old school. Yeah. I have that vibe, I guess.
Yeah. Are you worried that you're in the new Ashley Madison doc?
No. My lawyers have not informed me of anything.
Okay. Now, here's what happened. So that movie that we're talking about with this three-way love affair going on, Davis gets nominated for an Oscar.
Wow.
Okay. For her performance. And yet Crawford still manages to upstage her. Because at the Oscar ceremony, Davis did not think she would win. So she wore this plain navy dress, which was an old costume, to the ceremony in order to piss somebody else off who had forced her to attend. But I don't know what that side story is. So she's wearing this like super simple Raggedy Ann-ass dress.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, her name is read out. She wins. Okay. She wins the Oscar. She gets up. The guy, Franchot Tone, the man in question, embraces her, congratulates her. Crawford turns her back, refuses to acknowledge that she just wins. And as she walks by, she says, oh, dear Betty, what a lovely frock. Which is
what's frock?
Like a dress, like an ugly dress.
Yeah, like you look like shit.
Yeah, like you look like shit, girl.
Yeah.
Basically saying, nice outfit.
A little dusty.
Dusty.
Yeah.
Is it dusty in here? Is it dusty in here? Okay. It's going to get better.
That was pretty great.
Okay, it gets even better, though.
Oh, that was their generation slap.
I know. Okay. That was the Will Smith. No, there's another crazy Oscar thing that happens with that.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
Okay. That's awesome. So then Crawford tries to patch it up. So she moves over to Warner Brothers from MGM. Davis is also at Warner Brothers. They get dressing rooms across from each other. Crawford sends like gifts and flowers, but Davis is like, nah, I'm not fucking with you. So then Crawford has her heart set on the title role in this film, Mildred Pierce, which they did a remake on HBO of, I believe. It's like recently.
Yeah.
Mildred Pierce, okay. And then she gets her wish. She gets the role because Davis, who is the studio's first choice, turns down the role. Crawford went on to win her first and only Oscar for this film that she got because Bette Davis dropped out. Bette Davis said about her, quote, Miss Crawford is a movie star and I am an actress.
She was right.
Quote.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Heater. Those are ballers right there.
Now, 1950. So now we're 20 years in, almost 17 years in to this little debacle. The women in prison drama called Caged was intended by Warner Bros. As a joint Davis-Crawford vehicle, but Davis supposedly refused to sign opposite Crawford, calling the film, quote, a dyke movie.
Different time.
Crawford, who had relations... It's just so funny to see it in quotes, because like this, I'm just reading from a Vanity Fair article, and this is how they wrote it.
Yeah.
Now, Crawford, who had had relationships with both men and women throughout her life, was suspected by some to have harbored sexual curiosity about Davis. Crawford's friends felt she was, in fact, attracted to Betty's vitality and energy. And Bette was always convinced, due to her ego, that Joan had the hots for her. And that's one reason why she was always so antagonistic. 2 years later, Betty signs on to play the role of an aging actress clinging to her fading star, which was known to be a thinly veiled depiction of Crawford. So Bette Davis plays a caricature of Crawford in a movie.
Wow. I mean, you have Hollywood up your sleeve if you're doing that, you know?
Right? It's like, yeah, someone's on her side.
Yeah.
Okay. Then this is the movie I knew about, and I can't believe that all this stuff had happened before this. So 1962, the movie Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. You ever seen it?
Of course I've heard of that.
Amazing.
They're in it together.
It's like and this is the first time they're ever in a movie together.
Wow.
It's actually like an amazing movie. I watched it when I was a kid.
Of course, your mother probably...
She made me watch it.
Of course she did.
Yeah, she is both these characters. So, okay. So that film, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, is the first time they're ever in a movie together, and it becomes an unexpected success. Now, Davis agrees to sign on to be in Baby Jane on two conditions: that she would play the title role of Jane, and that the film's director, Robert Aldrich, would assure her that he was not sleeping with Crawford.
Wow.
Quote, "It wasn't that I cared about his private life or hers. I just didn't want him favoring her more with the close-ups."
Love that.
End quote.
Old Hollywood, man. How great.
It's so good.
Fighting over close-ups.
People really just don't do this shit anymore.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Well, once cable came around,
What?
we have more options, you know?
True.
So it's like, what does it matter?
It's like, what are we going to fight about? They were fighting for like 5 roles a year or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
Of course.
They made
Yeah.
way less
Now
stuff.
it's like there's no reason for people to fight. There's a million things, and you can just go on TikTok.
And we
yourself.
can't even get one.
Yeah, there's a million things, and we're not in one. Isn't that crazy?
It's kind of...
Isn't that suspicious?
It is suspicious.
We
We create our own content.
create.
And we're all rich.
Yes.
Okay. Crawford was on the board of Pepsi at this time because her husband or ex-husband was involved with Pepsi. So on this movie, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, Davis has a Coke machine installed in her dressing room across from Crawford.
Oh, offensive.
In a scene
Petty.
in a scene where Davis had to beat Crawford's character, it is claimed that Davis hit her so hard in the head she needed stitches. But Davis says, quote, "I barely touched her. I barely touched her."
Yeah. I mean, you could get away with wild things back in the day.
Wild.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they would just drug each other. They would just drug actresses and actors and just beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, and then be like, "You guys can do your own fight scene."
Yeah. Oh, we'll hire these 2 women that hate each other.
They
And
they'll
fight.
do their own fight scene. Okay.
And they'll be like, "We got it." And she's like, "We did it."
Wait, so then this is okay. So then in a scene where Davis has to drag Crawford's character out of bed. Wait, where is that? Pause for pages. Okay, so there's a scene where Davis has to drag the Crawford out of bed, right?
By what?
By just with her hands.
Cool.
They tell her get out of bed. It's time to get up, you dumb bitch, or whatever this plot is. So Crawford knew that Davis had back problems. So apparently for this scene, she made herself heavy by wearing body weights.
Oh.
And it is reported, but not confirmed, by filling her pockets with rocks.
Oh my
And then-
God.
This is so good.
And
This
then-
is incredible.
And then ruining take after take for some reason so that Davis would have to do it again and again and again until she was crying in agony because her back
oh my God.
was so bad.
This is so petty.
Isn't this great?
This is great.
This is great.
This is great.
I don't want it to end.
Yeah, I love the putting rocks in your pockets.
If that's true, that is so funny.
That's so
Because
dramatic.
you could also see rocks in someone's pocket.
Yeah.
And they're
Probably hear them.
Yeah.
You probably feel them.
so crazy.
Wow.
They're rocks. I mean, I don't,
Yeah.
they're not subtle.
Now, this is probably my favorite part of the whole thing.
Okay.
So for this movie, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, Bette Davis gets nominated for Best Actress.
Mhm.
Joan Crawford does not. Here we go, right?
Ugh.
So what do you think happens? So Joan Crawford goes out and starts campaigning against Bette Davis to win. And then goes to the Academy because there was a couple of people that couldn't attend the awards that year.
Uh-huh.
So she volunteers to the Academy. She says, I don't mind. I'll get up and accept on any of the women's behalf that can't make it.
Wow.
So when it comes time for the Best Actress Award, which Bette Davis is nominated for, Bette Davis does not win, but Anne Bancroft's name is called out. And Joan Crawford gets up at that ceremony and accepts the award for Best Actress on her behalf.
So was that The Graduate that you won for?
I don't know. Look it up.
That is,
And
I've
then-
never heard that before. That's crazy.
So Bette Davis loses the Oscar, but Joan Crawford, who was not even nominated for that movie, gets up, accepts the trophy, and then goes around the rest of the night holding the trophy and posing with the other winners.
Oh.
How good is that?
Just she didn't even win. She was just happy she lost.
Yeah.
That's so petty.
Yeah.
These two are incredible.
I'm obsessed. Now,
It was The Miracle Worker.
Miracle
The
Worker.
Miracle Worker, Helen Keller.
She
Yes.
goes, water.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what it's about.
63.
Was that Helen Keller impression?
Yeah.
Let me hear it again.
Is that bad?
No.
To do a Helen Keller impression?
Well, this is zero white claws in.
She was just deaf, right?
She was
Deaf and
deaf,
blind.
deaf, dumb, and blind.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing.
Yeah. I think
And
it's, I don't think you can say dumb. You're zero white claws in? I'm kidding.
I don't care.
No, that was the whole thing. She was in the hand going, water.
I never.
She was learning to speak because she couldn't speak.
You want to know something? I heard
What?
this whole rumor that Helen Keller ain't even real. Like the person's real, but like she just like she wasn't deaf, dumb, and blind.
Really?
That she had wits about her. It was just that she couldn't speak or something.
And why was she so important? I can't remember. Like, who did
Adversity?
she invent? She invented Braille.
She invented Braille.
I don't know.
let's
Why was
double-check
Helen
that.
Keller important? Like,
No, don't double check.
No, you have to because Louis Braille invented Braille. I forgot he.
Are you sure?
Yes, I remember Louis Braille poked his eye out with a screwdriver like tool called an awl, like AWL. He poked his own eye out when he was a young boy, and then he invented Braille.
Wow.
So why do we care about Helen Keller though? What did she do? Did she split the atom? I'm thinking Marie Curie now.
I think it's just her triumphs over her limitations. I think it's just like
But
a
what-
well-documented thing that I don't know.
But
I don't
why
know.
did we learn about her? She must have done something.
Why can't I say the
Helen
word
Keller
dumb?
was one of the 20th century's leading advocates for individuals with disabilities. So I think she
okay,
just
so that was
overcame her thing
it.
and then became an advocate.
But I heard that her disabilities were hyped up more than they were. Like they didn't understand her.
She had anxiety.
You
Oh,
can't
so
say the
sorry.
word dumb anymore?
I don't know. I actually don't.
Someone's dumb?
Well, because remember from the Who's album Tommy, that deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure plays a mean pinball. I don't know. You could say dumb,
Oh, okay.
but I don't know why I said that you couldn't.
No, but I think I've heard that before too.
You could say dumb about people who are dumb, but I think maybe Helen Keller wasn't dumb. She was just deaf and blind. So we're assuming she's dumb. That's why.
Oh, great point.
Because she could, in fact, say water.
This whole
That's what the
segment's
whole movie-
wild. This whole part is off the rails.
Yeah.
This part where
You're right,
we
you're
had
right,
such
you're
a good episode,
I
and
know.
now we go. Maybe let's talk about. Can we say the word dumb? And what is? Let's do Helen Keller impersonations.
Who brought up Helen Keller, to be honest? I didn't.
Well,
You
because
did.
we said Miracle Worker.
Miracle Worker.
Yeah.
That's
And
And then
Bancroft.
you just started going water.
Because that's from the movie. I saw the movie is her like aide teaching her how to say the word water.
Right. Yeah.
And it was like a miracle.
Yes.
That's
And that won an Academy Award.
yes. Okay, so we're back.
Yeah.
So we're back on the stage. And Joan Crawford, not nominated for whatever happened to Baby Jane, gets up on stage and accepts the award while Bette Davis just sits in shock.
Oh.
Now 1977. So now we're 50 years after we started. We're 50 years later. Joan Crawford dies.
What?
Unconfirmed, but Betty is rumored to have said, quote, "You should never say bad things about the dead. You should only say good. Joan Crawford is dead. Good."
Bette Davis, what a queen of shade.
Betty's the
Wow.
best, bro.
That's incredible.
That same year, Joan Crawford's adopted daughter writes this book, Mommy Dearest,
Yeah.
which they made a movie of it.
Of course.
No wire hangers.
Yes.
Okay. I should stop quoting old movies because God only knows if that's offensive now.
I never saw the movie, so no.
Apparently, she couldn't use wire. I don't know.
Mia
She
Farrow?
beat them with wire hangers, I think. I don't know.
It was about a mom that was upset, like a stage.
It was
mom,
about Joan
right?
Crawford
Oh, okay.
being abusive to her children. Okay, so she writes this book called Mommy Dearest about the abuse she suffered at the hands of Joan Crawford, her adopted mother. Now, all these years, 50 years later, here comes Bette Davis coming to her rival's defense. She says, quote, "I was not Miss Crawford's biggest fan, but wisecracks to the contrary, I did and still do respect her talent. What she did not deserve was that detestable book written by her daughter. To do something like that to someone who saved you from an orphanage, foster homes, who knows what. If she didn't like the person who chose to be her mother, she was grown up and she could choose her own life."
Mike just got a new like on Tinder.
Yeah,
or
That was
Mike-
an accident.
Mike got a match on Hinge.
Yeah.
All right, here's the rest of the quote. I felt sorry for Joan Crawford, but I knew she wouldn't appreciate my pity because that's the last thing she would have wanted. Anyone being sorry for her, especially me. End quote. Bette Davis's own daughter would go on to write a book called My Mother's Keeper, where she described Davis as this emotionally abusive alcoholic maniac. So both of their daughters came out with books.
Yeah. Well, they were raised by people that were petty. How are you not going to become a
I
petty
know.
person?
Imagine treating someone in your workplace like those two treated each other and then like being really nice to your daughter.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Unheard of.
It's
Yeah.
unheard of.
Yeah. Just to be at home fuming about someone that's not in your house, you're not
Yeah,
taking
it's like
care of
she
your
got more close-ups than me. Is that a wrinkle? Get me the Scotch tape. Is that a wrinkle?
Yeah.
It must be tough. Must
Yeah.
be tough.
Well, it was also probably hard for them in Hollywood at that time.
Well, that's I think I mean, we talked today about like pitting women against each other, but I don't think this is really what we're talking about when we talk about pitting women against each other.
Yes.
Like there's literally 3 or 4 actresses for all these roles,
Yeah.
and they'll just let them go at it. They're like, let's give them some Valium and some wine. It's like the original Housewives.
Yeah.
And let's let them fight to the death.
And the Times would just write articles about
Also,
them.
they were all in love with these guys, and then all the guys turned out to be gay.
Are you sure?
No. Not at all.
Few.
A few. Errol
No.
Flynn was one of the guys that would have my dad loved Errol Flynn, and that was my sister's first crush. Was Errol Flynn, and that was the "in like Flynn" was the saying,
Okay.
which means that he would have sex with women so fast he was in like Flynn, which isn't a compliment.
Yeah, it's not a compliment.
And that he was friends with the Barrymore father.
The Barrymores are a good one.
Yeah, he was in that era.
That's a good feud. Drew
Silent
Barrymore
film star,
versus
yeah.
the Barrymores.
Married to Mary Pickford. They started United Artists
Oh,
with Chaplin.
Wait, what? Can you tell us more? Do you have papers on this?
can I tell you something?
What?
I didn't really hear what he said. I just went like this. He pointed at me. You know, Mike's a good public speaker because he knew that we weren't really on board, but then he made eye contact with me, pointed, and it made me respond. I was tricked into going, okay.
10 years from now, running for Senate.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, anyone that had was a child to any of those people is so fucked up. Even Drew Barrymore now is
I know.
so fucked up. You seen the Mamala?
Yeah, we need you to be Mamala.
One's cringier.
I support her. I like her.
Who, Drew Barrymore?
Yes.
Even though she crossed the picket line?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, first of all, she didn't actually end up doing it.
Yeah.
Second of all, it was a complicated time. People had to work.
People did have to work. I agree with that. People did have to work.
I think that obviously it's not ideal and probably not her best moment. She ended up not going through with it.
That's good. I'm
But
sorry.
in her mind, she was doing what was right for her crew and and technically was within the rules to proceed without writers
Oh.
and just have like a chit chat show with no writers so her crew could work. I think it was a hard decision, but it was a really tough time.
This is what's wrong with our society. Did you hear the confidence I said that?
Yeah, and if I hadn't pushed back, because I thought about just agreeing because it's like, yeah, I don't want to be a scab either.
Yeah.
So I thought about just agreeing and being like, yeah, actually that's fucked up. Fuck her.
Totally.
But then I had to make what I truly believe to be true.
And as soon as you say that, now my opinion has changed.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy, the opinion I've jumped to so quickly. And now I have the complete opposite opinion. I'm like, she's a hero.
It was a horrible time. I mean,
yeah. Well, she's cringy no matter what.
Well, fuck her no matter what.
No matter what, the way she sits on the couch and goes, Mamala, I go, oh.
Mamala. I don't know. I think to have such a spirit in such an environment is interesting and commendable.
It is.
Yeah.
She must get a lot of pushback that she must.
The rain. Remember, she was like, "The rain. I love the rain."
The rain moment was such an iconic moment.
And it goes in everything I've heard about her childhood and her upbringing. It's like, hey, you know what? If you can be joyful,
sure,
you should be.
It's almost like she faced death, and she's on the other side.
And she goes, "Oh, you think this is gonna get me down?"
Yeah.
I've been to hell, honey.
I was doing coke at 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was at Limelight dancing on tables as a 13-year-old.
Yeah. She's like, honey, I've been to hell.
Yeah.
You think a rainstorm's going to get me down? I embrace it.
Yeah. I've seen the darkness.
And it's just like, hey, if you can come out of challenges with that type of whimsy, who are we to beat that out of someone? I support her.
You're right. This is what conversations are good for.
This is what conversations are good for.
If only people would listen.
Yeah. I tried to learn about the Hatfields versus the McCoys, but it was so unbelievably boring.
Who are they?
Okay, so if you Google most famous feuds in history, apparently they're like two old-timey, like...
You do a good job with the episode. You go, I'm going to do a feud episode, and then you go, famous feud.
100%. That's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did.
Did you click on the first one?
Well, I looked at that. That always comes up first. Hatfields versus McCoys. I remember reading a book about them. They're like two families, like in the old Westy American days. And I couldn't even. It was so boring. I couldn't even tell you more about it.
Ugh.
Kim Cattrall versus Sex and the City.
Oh yeah,
you're a Sex and the City boy.
Well, you know what's iconic?
What?
Well, one, she's ahead of her time in that show. I had to rewatch a bunch of that show, and everyone else. Well, so is she's so. Sex positive.
She being Kim Cattrall.
Samantha, yes. And also, like, some of the stuff Miranda says, like, there's a whole episode where Miranda gets angry because she's tired of every conversation being centered around men. Right. And then she yells, she goes, can we not talk for one time without talking about men? And screams. And then the episode ends by her going back, being like, I'm sorry I yelled. I was wrong.
Right. I tried.
But and just like that series, she refused to be in it, of course, except for one scene where she's on FaceTime.
I saw that, yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, so apparently it all goes back to when they were going to make the movie. It took like 4 years to get... I don't know if it was the first movie or the third movie. I don't know which movie it was, but it took a long time. Yeah. And they said it was because she wanted too much money. And she's like, we've made the biggest show of all time. Yeah. It's time to get that coin, babe. Yeah. And then her brother died, and Sarah Jessica Parker posted on Instagram, like, my condolences to you and your family. And she, like, publicly wrote back, you're not my friend, you're not my family, and I don't need your condolences during this time.
Wow.
Public.
That's the beautiful part about today, is that you could see feuds on, like, Instagram.
Yeah.
It's nothing like the New York LA hip hop beef. That was wild. I mean, I listened to this Drake and Kendrick shit, and I go, I wanted to stop now that someone got shots.
Yeah, I wanted to stop.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's that cool.
No. Stop. I think J. Cole's doing a great job.
Of not doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, staying out of it.
I love the videos of like Kendrick, Drake, and then J. Cole, and they have him like whistling at Disney World or some shit like that. It's incredible. People don't need to die over stuff.
I know. I'm trying to remember if I remember in real time when Biggie and Pac were killed. I wasn't into rap then. I was like,
we were too young.
We were too young.
I just watched shows. I watched movies.
But I do remember the VMAs where Diddy did the I'll Be Missing You tribute and came out with Dancing with Faith Evans and 112.
Sting.
Yeah.
Sting was in it?
Yeah, because it was I'll be watching you.
Yeah.
That's iconic.
Yeah.
Well, look, I think the best one of these beefs is Crawford Davis.
It's really good. It makes me want to look them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see who's hotter.
Yeah, I think Crawford is?
Joan Crawford's hotter?
Yeah.
By a lot?
Not even
Maybe it's just your type.
Yeah. Mike has a type.
Yeah, Mike
it's
has
flat
a type.
iron. It's flat iron businesswomen.
It truly is.
It's businesswomen from the flat iron.
Honestly, me and Mike will never compete for the same woman.
Yeah, it's kind of true.
And you want a goth girl with heavies.
Oh, God, all I'm looking for is some fucking heavies.
Yeah, heavies.
Some thick. I want her and I to take up the whole row of the fucking airplane. Wow, are you down with the thickness?
All right, I guess we'll go home and look up like who's looked them up, but Bette Davis is famous for her eyes, which means she probably wasn't that hot.
Well.
The Jared Leto of her time.
It's like when people are always like, "Wow, you have such nice eyes," and like you could say something else.
Oh
It's
God,
always the eyes.
You do have nice eyes.
Okay.
Well, I did hear something beautiful about the eyes.
Okay, the window to the soul.
No, damn it. What's beautiful about someone's eyes is that they don't change, and you get to see the person age around them.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah, and so no matter what, if you love someone, you'll still look into the same eyes, unless they get diabetes and cataracts.
Yeah, or they get cirrhosis and they turn yellow.
Or they poke themselves out with some shit, and then they have to invent Braille.
Oh yeah, right. Louis Braille with the screwdriver in the eye.
Of course.
It's a long life, folks. You could end up with a patch. All right. You know what? I think we've really covered a lot here today. I'm so glad you're back.
Me too.
This kind of makes me want to like start some shit with someone.
No, you don't.
Okay, you're right.
Think about the anxiety you would have.
Oh my God, yeah.
Think about how...
Was I rude? Was I annoying?
Yeah. Was it bad that I called Drake a pedophile? That would be me and you on the other side. Was that too much?
You're going to be like, what if I go on Drew Barrymore's show one day? Is this clip going to resurface?
I like you, Drew.
Yeah, thank you.
No, we're too anxious people to have any beef. We're people pleasers in a bad way.
In a bad way.
I would talk about being a people pleaser, and then this beautiful woman followed me on Instagram, and she runs courses on not people pleasing.
Really?
And I was telling my friend about it, and they laughed. They're like, "Yeah, of course, it takes a hot woman to talk about not people pleasing for you to start paying attention."
Yeah. Smart.
So
heavies.
Heavies is the funniest word for boobs.
So funny. I remember 30 seconds of the entire telethon, and it was you going, "I'm a heavies expert."
I don't even remember saying that.
It's like I don't even remember some guy standing above us.
Oh my God.
Okay. This was a great episode. Thank you so much for coming back. I can't wait for you to come back again.
Always.
Listen to Sebastian's podcast, Loud About Nothing.
Beautiful.
Rate, review, subscribe on this podcast called That's What I Heard. And have a good fucking day. You know I love you. You know I love your ass. See you next week.